everybody, and welcome. It is Tuesday, May 24th, 2022. I'm Deanna, your Akashic Records advisor and energy shift expert. How's everybody doing tonight? Glad to have you join me. It is a spectacular time to be alive. And so for all of those of you out there that are having challenges and you're struggling and you're looking at this world scene and it's kind of freaky deaky, I would like for you to remember that you are always loved and you are never alone and you're never without your beautiful gifts as an empath, a starseed, or a highly sensitive person. So if you're watching tonight, I'd like for you to repeat after me. Every day in every way, I get happier and happier. Every day in every way, I get healthier and healthier. Every day in every way, I get wealthier and wealthier. And thoughts do become things. So as you begin to create what you'd like to have in your reality, you will see things shift, sometimes almost instantaneously, and sometimes it takes a little bit. But these days it's been faster and faster. So welcome aboard, everybody. If you have any questions, I'm going to ask you to put them right down here in the Facebook feed. And if you're seeing this later on YouTube, you have any questions, post them below. As always, if you do like the content of this video, I'm going to ask you to please press the share button or click like. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can also press follow. And every time I post a new video, it will come up and you'll be able to see that there's a new video live. All right, so tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about 4 ways to create peace within. And as you know, there's a lot of different things going on this planet right now. There's a lot of agendas. There's a lot of fear-based things happening, and it doesn't seem to be getting any better. And so quite a few of you out there, starseeds, empaths, highly sensitive people, have been reaching out to me and saying, you know, I am having trouble just being around every day, and you know, I feel like there's no peace in my life, and every time I turn around, there's something else wrong. So that's what I'm going to talk about this evening and give you some insight. Let me get my other little device over here. There's so many things. I just learned the other day that I can purchase a few more pieces of equipment and have a whole, like, look like on the Starship Enterprise, you know, like on the deck. First, I got to figure out how to just be at one with these energies themselves and get that going. So anyway, if you are having a great and wonderful night, please give me a thumbs up and let me know how you're doing tonight. And if you have any questions, let me know those too as we go along. All right, here we go. So 4 ways to create peace within, especially in these times right now. Number 1 is to take time to yourself. Take time to restore yourself. As an empath, a highly sensitive person, or a starseed, we have a tendency to give so much of ourselves to other people. We nurture, we love, we console. Sometimes we just open our energy right up and other people drain us and we feel like a little prune. And that's not good, because if you cannot help yourself, you can't help others. It's that plain and simple. And some of you, I see, you know, you could be about this full and you allow yourself to get down to about this, and then you're here. And people are still trying to drain you, and there's nothing left to give, but yet you try to find something. And after a while, that's going to create anxiety and depression. So I encourage you to take care of yourself, take time to restore yourself. You know, if you enjoy being out in nature, go be out in nature. That's one of my favorite things to do. If you enjoy taking a nice hot bath with Epsom salts or essential oils, then do that. You know, if restoring yourself just means going for, you know, a drive or, you know, playing Scrabble, take some time out for that. This crazy world will be back as soon as you get back. So it's always here. Things are always going on in the universe. And when you get back, you know, it'll be right there. So have no worries. All right, number 2 on 4 ways to create peace within. Number 2 is to draw firm and safe boundaries. Now, how many of you starseeds, empaths, highly sensitive people, give me a woohoo? How many of you out there can relate to this? How many of you know that you have trouble drawing safe and firm boundaries? And that feeds right back into restoring yourself. A lot of, especially empaths, we were raised by people that were sociopath or narcissistic, and all they wanted to do was own our emotions and make us do their bidding, and they felt entitled to that. And anytime you tried to stand up for yourself, you were told you were bad or wrong. Poo, 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 you know, and you were made to have to get back down on your, you know, figurative knees and bow down to them. And it's like, okay, you know, whatever you say, you know, no. So in this day and age, learning to draw firm boundaries with yourself and others is going to be extremely important, extremely important. And one of the safest ways that you can draw boundaries is by looking at the other people in your life and what do they expect from you? What do they give back to you? So the relationship is to be even. It's a desired relationship is to be even. Now, yes, there's sometimes when one person will give more than the other. But if you're looking across the board at your relationships, I'd like for you to think about the major relationships you've had in the past or ones that you've terminated or you felt were draining, and ask yourself, hey, did I ever receive back as much as I gave? Did I ever receive back as much as I gave? Now, that might sound a little selfish, and especially for those of you that are learning to draw boundaries for the first time, but that's not true. When we love ourselves, we give to ourselves first and make sure we're restored, that we have what we need, and then we give to others. If you do it the other way around, you're just going to run around depleted and miserable all the time. So it is important to learn to draw safe boundaries and firm boundaries. And saying no is okay. Please do expect that the first few times that you say no to someone or draw a boundary, there will be pushback because they're used to you being a doormat. They're used to you being easy prey. And when you say no, they're like, say what? But I'm entitled. And they're entitled to the door. There it is. Bye-bye. Okay. Now that might sound a little harsh, but for those of you that are empaths, you understand what that feels like. Starseeds and sensitives as well. You understand what it's like for somebody to drag you around by the emotions, always expect you to give your last dime to them because they have nothing when they really have a lot. To go first, and you go first and do something when they're supposed to do something in return and they don't do it. And it dissolves your self-esteem. So the first step in drawing a boundary, a safe boundary and a firm boundary, is to draw a boundary with yourself and begin to say no, and begin to recognize what you're saying yes to that you should say no to. Okay. All right, number 3 of 4 ways to create peace within. Number 3 is to identify the demons in your life. How many of you out there, by a show of hands, thumbs up, smiles, you know, frowny faces, how many of you have ever had demons in your life and you knew it? And you're like, okay, Deanna, what's a demon? Are you talking literal or figurative? Well, they can be both. Some of us that are highly sensitive or empaths or starseeds are susceptible to lower vibrations, such as hate, fear, anger, phobia, that kind of thing. And when we have such a beautiful, radiant light within ourselves, people will you know, draw their claws into that, humans, and drain us. You know, you hear people talk about energy vampires. That's an energy vampire. That's a demon. It's more figurative than literal, but there are literal demons. So if you've noticed yourself lately going from a happy or fairly moderately happy person to all of a sudden a lot of fear, anxiety, phobia, wanting to separate yourself from others, there might be a literal demon in your energy field. And they will hang right about here. And you won't be able to see them with your physical eyes, but you sure can feel them. Again, some of the symptoms are feeling drained, feeling exhausted, suddenly being angry for no reason or going into rage, perhaps maybe seeing things that you thought you'd work through. Those can be literal demons, and they can be in your energy field. And they're fairly easy to remove if you know how, and I'm more than happy to help you with that and then put up some shields for you. All right, before I get to the fourth way that you can find ways to create peace within, I would like to remind you that again, today is May 24th, 2022. A lot of you are watching gas prices double, and you're wondering how you're going to make ends meet, and you're also desiring to have your energy cleared. You feel like you're being held back in your health. Your health is somehow being jeopardized, and you know it's not right, and you know there's an energy that your body is storing that could be easily removed, help you feel better. There's also those of you really struggling with relationships of all different kinds. And then there's some of you that are knowing that you should be able to create more wealth than you are to manifest it, and you feel stuck. And if that's what's happening to you, then I do have a special offer for you this coming up Friday at For Heaven's Sakes Books in Denver. I'm going to be doing discounted sessions. So you get, I think it's about $21 off of regular session price. And that's 303-964-9339. And we can do a Zoom or a FaceTime, or you can come in person. And that's this coming up Friday. Now, Thursday, I also have appointments available. So Friday fills up and you call the store and it's all booked up. Just tell me when on Thursday and then remind me, and I will give you the special for Friday on Thursday so that you can have those energies clear to find out what's going in your life. And we can get that cleared up for you. And even if you have a demon, we can clear that as well. All right, little distracted tonight. There's just so much going on this planet, so many things happening. And it's challenging for me because I'm sensing it all. I don't even have to turn on the news. And I know that there, if you will, has been a disturbance in the force. And it's just, yeah, it's challenging. One of the things that makes it easier for me or less draining for me in this life is to have that connection with the divine and to be able to access Akashic Records and to clear energy for myself and for others. It's a way to help you feel like, well, here, let me describe it for you this way. I have a couple of clients that have given me some testimonials, and one person says here that having their energy cleared with me was like having a new lease on life. Another person said they were really surprised. They were expecting a normal psychic reading, and instead what they found was a refreshing way to live their life, think about life, and regain their emotional power and freedom. So that's what it's like working with me with an Akashic Records clearing. It really helps you to bring your energy back, your zest back for life. And then there are several of my students with the Spiritual Awakening Academy. We started in May, so it's only been a few weeks. And already I have had some of my students give me some beautiful feedback. And one gal told me, she says, I've never had to study so hard as I do with you, and I can see my progress. I am making the progress I'm making far exceeds what I have done before. So she's really enjoying the rich material of the Spiritual Awakening Academy, and it's giving her traction in her life. to clear otherwise debilitating energies during these hard times, and being able to manifest what she wants in her life, and being able to move forward more easily in a state of joy. And another one of my students responded back to me. She said that she was really enjoying the Academy and finds it to be extremely fascinating. She commented that she doesn't know how I'm able to do everything I do in my life and give so much of myself to the Academy. And I told her it's an absolute pleasure to be able to work with you all, enlighten you, give you some tools, tools of energy protection, especially in these times we need the protection. Well, we require up-leveling our game as sensitives. Otherwise, we're going to feel drained by the demons of just this world alone. So if you would like to join me on the Academy, or if you just like to find out more about it, if you go to toolsofenergyprotection.com, click on Spiritual Awakening Academy, and I have the applications up for July, and it's not too soon to apply because that's going to fill up fast. I will have a limited number of slots of people so I can get them all to start together and feel, unity and feel at home with that. So, all right. In case you've just joined us and you're like, okay, what are the 4 ways to create peace within? When the video ends, just hit the replay, and I covered the first 3 at the beginning in a little bit more detail. So the first one is to take time to restore yourself. We talked about how to do that. The second one is to draw firm and safe boundaries, and I shared some ideas on how to do that. The third one was to identify the demons in your life, both literal and figurative, because there are entities, spiritual entities, and some otherwise entities that are literally being released here on this planet, on Earth, by the ambiguous they that are attaching to us. There are also some airwaves that I heard scarily enough, and then found out I was right, where I'm almost asleep but not quite. And I heard a woman's voice talking to me, very subdued, very low toned, telling me everything was going to be okay, but also programming my mind into what the collective they wanted me to do, the ambiguous they. And that's pretty darn scary. But Nikola Tesla and some other people developed a technology where they can send out signals to human brains, to the subconscious, where our conscious doesn't even hear it, and control our thoughts. Pretty scary stuff. All right, now a way to find peace within. Learning how to be aware and awake of that, will help you to have that peace, because then you'll be more aware of it. All right, way number 4 to create the peace within is to self-assess your diet. What are you putting in your mouth? I know myself, I put on a couple pounds, just having challenges taking in all the stuff that's happening in this world. No, I'd be a lot better off if I went to the gym 3 or 4 days a week and ate a little bit more healthy foods. But, being real with you, I struggle with it. There's times when I just want to sit down and, have comfort food instead of the healthy food. I don't care, if it's got junk in it, and that's not good, because we need to be physically strong, to have our bodies to be very strong during these times, so that we can deal with the energies, not only of what we're seeing on the planet, but the Schumann's resonance as well. And so some of us are sleeping more. Some of us are finding that it's harder to sleep. And so regular exercise will help to regulate that. So anyway, if you found this video to be helpful, please click share and like. I'm also doing on my YouTube channel, I'm going to begin to do Akashic Record readings on the YouTube channel. So I'm going to begin to post those up, Akashic Record readings for the planet. And if you would like to have an Akashic Records reading, and I'll post it up on YouTube, just let me know, get a hold of me, reach out and say, hey, I'd like to have an Akashic Records reading on YouTube. And then I will make that video and post it up. So anyway, I thank each and every one of you for showing up tonight. Big hugs and kisses. Please know that you are loved. God's Spirit or Source loves you very much. You are never alone, but it is up to you to take your mind, your spiritual mind, and look in the direction of God's spirit or source. Know that you are at one. There's no separation between you two. And to hold on to that, to utilize that, and to walk forward in that love and that truth. So have a great, wonderful night. Big hugs and kisses.